Okay. Hi, this is Ice Booster 3. Currently, it is February the 11th, 2026. I had my dates wrong yesterday in my last video talking about my Saturn return and my Saturn square. I said January 10th instead of February 10th. Anyway, I was gonna make another video today, but it's pretty much I saw the Pam Bondi interview and I was like, let me go ahead and just basically give my opinion in regards to that hearing before things go down. But like I said, this Epstein situation in regards to Bill Clinton, well, this new upcoming scandal in regards to Bill Clinton is not going to um, end until I believe July the 20th, 2026. And also, there's another shocking event that's going to happen around August 9th, 2026. Anyway, let me pause for a second. Okay, my hair got a little hot, so I had to step in and take the little hat off. Anyway, so the Pam Bondi congressional hearing. Pretty much it did not she did not look too good inside of this hearing or whatever. Um one of the representatives, I think he was a Democrat, he made a very, very good point in regards to Donald Trump getting possibly getting was getting a settlement in regards to his lawsuit that's going to go up against the IRS or whatever, because his tax records basically got exposed by a man who's now outside of jail, but it's Donald Trump is still going to sue reportedly the IRS for $10 billion. And so this man, he made a comment saying that, or he made a point that, okay, well, Donald Trump can sue the IRS for $10 billion. How much do the Epstein victims how much do you think the Epstein victims should get in regards to their names being leaked in the Epstein document releases or whatever? So that was interesting. That was a very, very good point by the Democrat. Well, by that Democrat. And so Pam Bondi, in my opinion, she didn't give a good answer or rebuttal to that. So the only good rebuttal in regards to what I've heard so far regarding Pam Bondi was when she responded to Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine Crockett not asking Pam Bondi any questions. She just basically went down a list of of points to be made. And so what did Pam Bondi say? Let me pause for a second. Okay, so apparently I didn't watch the whole thing. I guess I caught like some snippets or whatever, because you know the internet access here is crazy. But so apparently Pam Bondi's response to Jasmine Crockett. Um Basically she said that um Hakeem Jeffries accepted money from Epstein. So you want to talk about that? And so that was probably the only rebuttal or answer that I heard that was like finally something. Because every other answer that she gave, it hit the ear wrong. Anyway, one man, I think upon the opening argument, the opening of this congressional hearing, one man, he did allude to the fact that there was I think in California there was a victim of a female. When she was a young child, she had her breast removed and her anatomy mutilated by a doctor. And I wish that they would have stuck to that. I wish that Pam Bondi would have stuck to that point and that topic. I'm probably going to have to rewatch this full congressional hearing, because it seems like I missed a good amount, roughly about, I think, like 2 hours. But anyway, but my point so far, I've not heard in regards to these hearings, it didn't put Pam Bondi side of the best light, and the Democrats, it seems like they got their snippets that where they can put inside of the news where it makes Pam Bondi look bad, and so they're not going to show her answer to Jasmine Crockett, referencing Hakeem Jeffries and him receiving money from Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, so looking at the astrology, I said that around the day, or I said around February the 11th, 12th, or 13th, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon is going to make an aspect to his natal sun, I believe, or his progressed sun, and that will be an ego boost for him. And so far as I've seen in regards to these congressional hearings regarding Pam Bondi, it seems like he may get an ego boost. However, like I said, this Jeffrey Epstein situation, it is not going to end until July the 20th, right? 2026. And like I said, there's another shocking event that's going to happen around August 9th, 2026. So that'll be the end. But the month of May is going to be where things really, really, really probably go crazy. May 2026. Let me pause for a second to get the additional astrology. Well, not the additional astrology, but that astrology. So let me pause a second. Hold up for a second. Okay, so now May is going to be a big month as well, but it's February 23rd and 24th for Hillary Clinton is going to be huge as well. So just look out for the dates of February 23rd and February 24th, 2026 for Hillary Clinton. And let's see here, May 4th, 2026, and that's when Bill Clinton, his progress moon, will sextile his natal nodes. Now, on January 16th, I believe, that's when Bill Clinton's progress moon made an aspect to his progress nodes, and it was around the time that Bill and Hillary Clinton they did not go to their depositions, and they were subpoenaed. I think they were subpoenaed to be there on January the 14th, and so I think that was around the time that James Comer decided to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress, and so pretty much. Anyway, you already know the story. So the next date that's going to come up in regards to that is going to be sorry. The next date in regards to Bill Clinton, where his progress moon making aspect to his nodes, is going to be on May the 4th, 2026. And last time this astrology happened was on November 24th, 1998, and that was like roughly about 20 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment. But like I said, the astrology for Bill Clinton's impeachment has already happened. It happened on November 13th, 2025, and that was when the government, which was closed, which was shut down, it opened back up. Donald Trump signed this temporary clean CR bill, which apparently wasn't so clean because Mitch McConnell, he ended up adding a provision into the bill that basically banned it restricted a loophole in regards to the 2018 hemp farm bill or marijuana farm bill. Anyway, so the month of May is going to be very important because on again May 4th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progress will make a sextile to his natal nodes, and his nodes were aspected on January 16th, 2026, and you saw what happened around that time. He was almost held in contempt of Congress. So some more astrology is going to happen around May 16th, 2026 for Bill Clinton. And that's when his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Mars. And the effects of progressed Venus is a slow-moving planet. So the effects of this planet can be felt a week before, 2 weeks before. Because Venus moves slower than the moon. Anyway, so it's going to conjoin his progressed Mars. And that means that there could be a angering or violent event in regards to Bill Clinton's partners in circles or whatever. But weirdly enough, on the 21st or the 25th of May 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Jupiter. And so that means that for Donald Trump, his circle and his groups or whatever, they will get lucky. So while Bill Clinton is going through hell, Donald Trump's circle is going to be ecstatic about something or be lucky about something. And so on May 27, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mercury will sextile his natal Mars. And so this is the day that he can probably hear some angering or bad or violent news. And so what happens next after this is on July 20th, 2026, his progressed moon for Bill Clinton will quincunx his natal moon. And that's the end of the impeachment. Well, that's the same astrology that happened during the end of the impeachment that happened all the way back in 1908. But the astrology happened on Jesus January the. Let me pause a second. Okay, so for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon made a quincunx to his natal moon on February 9th, 1999. And that was around the end of his impeachment. The end of Bill Clinton's impeachment happened on February 12th, 1999. Okay. Just gonna pause another second. So my point is that there's a lot of astrology that's going on in regards to the transits and the progressions for Bill and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. But the most is the word intense. The most let me pause a second to get the correct terminology. Okay, so I guess the correct word would probably the most active time in regards to this astrology is going to be on, again, February 23rd and 24th of 2026. And I believe also May, the month of May, 2026. But there's a lot more astrology going on in between. But these progressions that are going on inside Hillary Clinton's chart and Bill Clinton's chart. Yeah. So it was also said that I believe that there are 3 more depositions that are going to happen in regards to the months of February and March. Let me get those the people that are going to be subpoenaed, that are subpoenaed to testify. So let me pause a second. Okay, so let's see here if I can pull this up real quick. The date of February 9th, 2026, James Comer, he announced 3 additional deposition dates for the months of February and March 2026. So on February 18th, Les Wexner is subpoenaed to testify. On February 26th, Hillary Clinton, she's subpoenaed to testify. On February 27th, Bill Clinton, he's subpoenaed to testify. On March 11th, Richard Kahn is subpoenaed to testify. And on March 19th, Darren Endike is subpoenaed to testify. I think Les Wexner is a Victoria's Secret, the CEO of Victoria's Secret. And Richard Kahn, I think he's probably, let me pause a second to get the correct title. So looking at Google, Richard Kahn is apparently recognized as the longtime accountant and co-executor of Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And I guess he's subpoenaed because of his knowledge of Epstein's financial activities. So let's see here. Let me see who Darren Endike is. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I guess Darren Endike is apparently Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. So anyway, another thing is that I did say that for the date of March the 14th, 2026 for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will oppose her natal Pluto. And the last time this happened was on December 4th, 1998, and this is 15 days before Bill Clinton's 1998 impeachment proceedings. So I guess back then, there was processing Bill Clinton's articles of impeachment. So I guess what the astrologer is saying is that ever since July the 5th, Bill Clinton, well, really it's July the 5th, 2025. Bill Clinton has had the same astrology that happened all the way back during the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And so all throughout, what the astrology is showing now is that pretty much I guess this current DOJ is collecting information so that pretty much they're going to take him down. That's what the astrology shows. And see, if you don't believe me, just look at what happened to Diddy. All the way back in 1996, 1997, that's when Tupac and Biggie were killed. And so back then, Diddy, they said that Diddy possibly or reportedly possibly had something to do with those situations, but he didn't go to jail back then. And understand this is also when transit Saturn what began to transit Aries, the sign Aries. And so pretty much I don't think that Diddy was sent to jail during as transit Saturn was in Aries this year or last year, or I've got the exact date, but it's still around the same time, same cycle. Anyway, my point is this time Bill Clinton could possibly get locked up or something because the astrologer shows it. Something big goes down. So something big goes down on February 23rd and 24th of 2026, and then the next days something a lot of astrology is shown throughout this period of time, but the month of May, it seems like there's something crazy that goes down in regards to Bill Clinton. Something bad that goes down in regards to Bill Clinton, and something good goes down. Bill Clinton and his circles, and then something good goes down for Donald Trump and his circles and partnerships and whatever. Anyway, so that's why I'm looking at this Pam Bondi hearing or whatever, and I'm like, we're just getting started. Like they pretty. Let me pause a second. So these Democrats may have got their sound bites and their video clips or whatever. They don't want these Epstein files. That's it. I'm done.